Hi everyone and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to look at the registration process for MyCAT. Now, as you must be aware, MyCAT is conducted twice in a test season. So what we are going to talk about is MyCAT 1, whose registration has just started, and MyCAT 2 registration will be starting a little later in the month of November. So what we'll do is we'll first visit the main website of MICA, which is mica.ac.in, and on the main website, on the home page itself, you will see an apply online button and you have to click on this. Once you click on apply online, you will be taken to this application form wherein there are two things. One is the registration form and the application form. So if you are a person who is registering for the first time, you have to click on new registration for all the programs. But if you have already created your account, then you have to go to already registered users, which means once you have created your account, for all the subsequent edits or any changes that you want to make to the application form, you have to come to this website and then click on already registered users. So since I've not created my account and I'm going to do it for the first time, I'm going to click on new registration for all the programs. Let me do that and let's see what happens. Now the registration form doesn't have too many fields. What it asks for is your name. So they're asking for applicant name. Within that, there is title that you need to select, which has Mr., Miss, Mrs., Doctor, and so on as options. You have to click on first name, middle name, last name. So you have to enter those fields and then enter your mobile number. You have to confirm it, then email address, and again confirm it by retyping. And then finally, you do the CAPTCHA verification process. So you put this CAPTCHA, click on I agree, and then do a submit. So let me complete this and show you what is the next step. The personal details part of the form is fairly straightforward and you have the standard questions that are asked. So you first start with date of birth and you have to enter it as DDMMYYYY. Again, you have a calendar, so you'll not go wrong with that. The age will get auto-calculated. After this, you have to select your gender, your nationality, and marital status. Then you have to enter your name of father, and along with that, the occupation and academic qualification. The other two are optional fields that you can fill. The name of mother and the same occupation as well as academic qualification has to be entered. So the name of father and mother is mandatory, whereas their occupation and academic qualification is optional. In case you want to enter, you can also enter the name of guardian and the details. After this, you have correspondence address. So in correspondence address, you have to enter the line 1, line 2, line 3, etc. Line 1 is mandatory, line 2 and 3 are optional. And then you have to select the state, the city, and the PIN code. After this, they have asked whether the permanent residential address and correspondence address are the one and the same. If that is the case, you can select yes, and whatever data that you have entered previously will get filled in the permanent residential address as well. But if they are different, then you have to select no, and then you have to specify the details of the same. And after this, you have contact details at the end, which are anyway auto-populated based on the mobile number and the email ID that you have submitted. In addition to the email address that you have used for registration, you also have to enter an alternate email address and you have to retype it to confirm. After this, they have asked some other questions such as how did you get to know about MICA, and you can select the appropriate field there. After this, you have to upload your photograph and signature. For both photograph and signature, the size limit is 80 KB and the format that they are accepting is either a JPEG or JPG image. Now, I'm assuming that you have filled other forms as well, which means that you already have your photograph and signature ready. But just in case you haven't done it, you can use a website such as picresize.com to make sure that your photo is or the photo file size is within the limits that are specified. So the limit here is 80 KB and the formats are JPEG and JPG. So I'll complete this process and take you to the next part. So in the qualification details, you will first start with your 10th standard score. So you have to select the year in which you completed, the percentage of marks obtained, the school or the college name, the address, city and PIN code of the college, and then board or university. Please keep in mind that all letter or number grades should be converted and expressed as percentage only. And if you are a candidate in the final year of graduation, then you can indicate the percentage obtained in the second or third year of examination. Now here, once you do your 10th standard, you have the same thing for your 12th standard as well. So it should not take you a lot of time to fill it. Once you move to graduation details, there are three fields that you will see here. That you have completed your graduation, you have not completed your graduation, or you have been promoted or passed without marks. So if you select yes, that you have completed your graduation, it will ask for your stream, and then there are predefined options here. Then you have to select the year as well, and then percentage of marks followed by school, college name, address, the city, the pin code, and the board, which are applicable for 10th and 12th as well. One thing that you will notice is that if you have been promoted or passed without marks, and if you select that, this percentage of marks becomes an optional field because you don't have it, which means you won't be able to enter it. And that is why you can just fill the rest of it if you have been promoted or passed without marks. But if you have completed or if you have not completed, let's say for example, I select no here, I will have to enter the percentage of marks obtained in the second or third year of examination. Post this, you have to enter your master or PG details if that is applicable. You can select that. So if I select yes here, it will ask me for the similar fees that I had for graduation. Since if you don't want to enter it, you can always say no. Once you go to additional degree details, it will ask you whether you have any other degree. You can select, for example, if I select yes, there is no particular name or predefined field that you see here. So you have to enter whatever the additional degree that you want to enter. If you don't have it, you just select no. And lastly, you have to fill the employment experience. If you don't have any work ex, you simply put no here and it will not ask you any further questions. But if you have your work ex, then you can select yes, and your work ex has to be till March 31, 2022. So click on serial number 1 and you can enter the name of the organization, the designation, the nature of work, period in months, then the total salary that you were getting, again that's a monthly salary, and then the industrial sector in which that company operates. If you want to add another employer, let's say you work with multiple companies, you can click on add new row and do the same process. So let's fill this form and then I'll show you what happens next. In this third part, you have to enter your CAT or XAT or GMAT details. So if you're a student who is applying for PGDM or PGDM-C, which is their 2-year full-time program, then only you have to enter this part. Otherwise, if you are somebody who is applying for their CCC, which is Crafting Creative Communications, or FPM, which is Fellow Program in Management, if you're applying to those two programs, then you can simply click on Save and Continue, and you don't have to enter your CAT, XAT, or GMAT details. But for the 2-year full-time programs, which is PGDM and PGDM-C, it is mandatory that you submit one of these test scores. So at this point of time, if let's say you are somebody who is going to take CAT 21 and going to put that as the test score, you can select yes, the rest of it you can click on no. But if you want to submit two scores, let's say you want to submit your CAT 21 as well as XAT 22, because ultimately they're going to take the best of the scores that you submit. So you can select both of them. Then you have to enter your score details. So right now, of course, you don't have your scores while you're filling the form, and that is why this note is important. So it says that your CAT, XAT or GMAT details, once you have your score or registration number, etc. with you, then only select checkboxes and update information. You can update the information till Jan 1622. So they will wait for the result, of course, and then only you have to update those scores. So once my result is out, I can come back to this form and I can select on CAT 21 and then enter the score. So I'll have to enter CAT registration number and the VRC score and percentile, and that's true for all the other sections as well as overall. Similarly, if I want to submit XAT 22 score, I select XAT 22 and it will ask me to put my XAT ID. So that ID has to be entered. So it is the way you're supposed to enter is that you should enter the 6-digit number which comes after XAT 22. So the XAT 22 part of it gets auto-populated. So right now we'll just uncheck this because we don't have the scores, but the moment the result is out in the month of Jan, the CAT result is out, you come here and you select CAT 21, or if you want to select XAT, then you can do so. So let's complete this and then I will show you the last part, which is program selection. Now we are on the last part in which you have to do program selection. So in program selection, you have three choices. First of all, you have MyCAT 1, CCC and FPMC. As mentioned earlier, CCC is Crafting Creative Communications and FPMC is their Fellow Program in Management. So since I'm filling MyCAT 1 form, I'm going to select that. So I'll click on MyCAT 1 and it will then ask you to indicate your preference for PGDM and PGDM-C. So here we recommend that you apply to both of them. So you select PGDM-C as well as PGDM. And the priority 1 should be PGDM-C and priority 2 should be PGDM. Then you move to choice of center for the MyCAT1. So here you can give 3 preferences, so your first, second and third preference. And in case you're shortlisted for the group exercise and the interview part, then what will be your city preference? You have to enter it at this point of time. And for that, you have 2 options that you can give, preference 1 and preference 2. Once you're done with this, you can complete the standard CAPTCHA and then do a final submit, and then you're done with your application for MyCAT1. So after you're done filling the form, the only thing that remains is of course the payment part. So you will see an option which says MyCAT1 payment. So once you click on this, it says click the plus button to make the payment. So if I click on plus, it will open a new pop-up and a new window, and through that you have to complete the payment process. So here it will show you that you are making payment for MyCAT1. Click on I agree and so on. The total amount is 2100. So I click on this and do submit. And then finally it will give you all the payment gateway options and so on. So you complete the payment process and you're done with the entire application of MyCAT1.